Hey guys, and welcome to this week's painting tutorial. In this one, I'm going to show you how to paint this squig in a sneaky shark scheme, and we're going to do some beach basing along with it too. As you can see, I've painted a traditional red squig, but I wanted to try a different scheme out. So I'm just using a few selection of paints, some Vallejo Black, some Dark Reaper as you can see here, some Thunderhawk Blue, and some Vallejo Silver Grey for the main skin colour. I'm also going to add a bit of Screamer Pink by Citadel to the palette as the gum colour. So the first task of painting this model is the main colour, which is the skin, and we're going to put a generous coat of Dark Reaper over the model. I'm going to base coat the bottom of the model in Vallejo Silver Grey, and whilst it's still wet, going to wet blend the two together. Just using a little bit of water and mixing the paints around on the model. The next task is using a glaze of our Screamer Pink. I'm just going to kind of define the gums and introduce the pink to the white lip of the model. And then I'm going to block in the Screamer Pink properly. So we are highlighting the blue skin now, and the first highlight is a mix of Dark Reaper with a little bit of Thunderhawk Blue mixed in there. And I'm just avoiding the recesses of the skin and building the colour up volumetrically. Next it's some pure Thunderhawk Blue as the second highlight, and we're going to go over our first highlight in a smaller area to build the volumes up. We're switching to highlighting the lips now, so we're just using a mix of Screamer Pink and Vallejo Silver Grey as the first highlight. And then the second one, we're just adding some more Vallejo Silver Grey. Switching back to highlighting the skin, and this is the third highlight consisting of Thunderhawk Blue and a little bit of Vallejo Silver Grey. Again, focusing it on a smaller area than the last highlight. If you can guess, the final highlight for the skin is just adding some more silver grey to our previous mixture. With the skin highlighted, I'm going to add some colour into the recesses and shadows of the model. I'm going to saturate them with some purple, and it's a mix of Screamer Pink and Dark Reaper, colours that were already on my palette. So shoving it into the recesses and glazing it underneath the model, as you can see. Next is the teeth, so we're going to block them in first with some Vallejo Black, and adding some Zandri dust and some ivory to the palette. These will be the highlights for the teeth. The first one is going to be a mixture of black and Zandri dust. Here we go, blocking it in. Going all around the teeth, getting that nice highlight established on the model. The second highlight is pure Zandri dust. And from there, I'm just adding a little bit of ivory, working my way up the teeth until we do little dots of ivory on the tips. The next task is highlighting the gums, and I'm using a mixture of Screamer Pink and Zandri dust. I like using the Zandri dust as the yellow gives the gums a more natural hue. So we're just going to use a small brush and carefully apply the first highlight. Quickly going to add a second highlight by adding some ivory into our original mixture. For the eyes, I'm just dotting some pure silver grey onto the eyeball to emulate a black shark eye. Adding some final highlights to the blue skin with some Thunderhawk and silver grey again. Just going to make that model pop nicely. Now onto the base, I'm using some light turquoise by Vallejo, lobbing it onto half of the base, adding a highlight of light turquoise mixed with ivory and wet blending it, as you can see. Adding even more ivory and wet blending that, and that's a quick way of getting a nice blue blend to represent the sea. Next I'm using some Agrellan Badland and daubing it over the base to make some sand, and then applying some Ard Coat to the blue sea to make it nice and shiny. Next I'm using some snow texture paint and mixing it with the Ard Coat and applying it on the edge of the sea to represent some waves breaking. Then, with a quick dry brush of Zandri dust and ivory mixed together, some grass tufts, and painting the rim black of course, we have the finished shark squig. I had an absolute blast painting this little fella, and I hope you enjoyed the video. If you want to see more, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.